Hello, all viewers. Welcome to the 14th Khelo Chess India team battle. And today we have 9 teams competing for the winner of today's team battle. We have Gujarat Lions, the Chess Blasters, WSDCA, Kolkata Dragons, Black Knight, Khelo Chess India, 7 Star Online Players, Keep Playing Chess, and CSC. So the Keep Playing Chess, this is a new team that we have got today, and I hope that team will give some tough fight to the dominating teams in our group. So the tournament has started. Let's check the first game which is in progress. So first game is in progress between the Destroyer from Black Knight team and Nikaru Hakamura from Gujarat Lions. So it was a d4, g6, c4, bishop g7, knight c3, and c5. This is kind of a modern Benoni now. So d4, d5, bishop takes c3, b takes c3, and f5. Knight f3, knight f6. So I got a comment from Mayank. Mayank says audio and video is clear. Thank you, Mayank, for informing. That really helps me every day. So this is the position, guys. So this in this position, you can see that there are double pawns on c file from white side, while black has pushed his f pawn. So he intends to attack more on the king side. But the queen a5 move, so the c3 pawn, of course, is under attack. But I think queen c2 should neutralize that attack. Yes, queen c2, and h4 is something that I am not much happy about. How is white going to use that h4 pawn? Because black 2 is going to press on the king side, and white has already tried to press on the king side by playing the h4 move. So this is going to be a very, very nice battle. Knight g4, knight e4 are some moves that now knight e4 I think will be a bit quicker. Because okay, so queen is hanging first. Queen has to be on a6 probably. A6 and then knight e5. Yeah, queen c4 is okay. Now if e3, then knight can hop on to e5 and attack the c4 pawn twice. Also the e4 and g4 squares will be little bit vulnerable from e4 and f4, that knight can attack the f2 pawn. So this is what I'm saying about this. Knight can come to e4, g4, and from there can be attack on these squares. Okay, so knight e4, knight c3, and knight g4, knight f2. So this is a very good uh, scope that knight has. Okay, probably knight e4 is expected now if there is no tactical threat. Queen takes c4. So black intends to attack this white's weak pawn on d5. This pawn. So queen is attacking the pawn, knight is attacking the pawn, and this pawn might fall soon. White has the option of capturing the knight, but the other knight can hop on to the d5 and again start attacking this d5 pawn. So e3, attack on the queen. This is interesting. White gave away the center pawn and now he is playing rook d1. Most probably now that king on e1 is going to remain in center. White won't castle, I think, with the pawn on h4 and rook on d1. King in center, I think, is better placed. But the g2 pawn is now hanging, and black captures the g2 pawn. I think this will be a dent in white's position. Black king is well defended. There is no issue with the black king. This is actually a nice pawn structure. This is a nice pawn structure. There is no gaps from where this white can attack right away. So white first has to try to play e4 somehow, but this knight is controlling the e4 square. So yeah, knight e4. That's what I was expecting. Knight e4 is played now. And the simple threat will be to capture the bishop on g5 or to play h6 and trap the bishop. Yeah, so this bishop is going to be at the mercy now of black. If knight f6 and knight g8, then this bishop is again going to be in question. Try to attack this bishop. This bishop cannot go to, yeah, it has to come back to g5, but then knight takes g5 is possible. Black has to activate both of his rooks now very quickly. Probably support the d6 pawn and then launch the a6 b5 attack as early as possible. There is going to be time pressure on both the players now, 39 seconds and 43 seconds, so very close time and decreasing very fast. That should give black some advantage now because the d1 rook is hanging, but there is a threat of queen c7 actually. Queen c7 and queen e6 or knight e6. Yeah, and knight e5 is also coming now. Knight takes, queen takes. Or even bishop e7 is possible. Right, guys? Bishop e7. Idea is to just give this check. The exchange will help black now. Yes, this is winning for black. Yeah, that's a simple exchange and black should win now after the rook's exchange. These two passers are going to be very strong. So all the viewers, so white has resigned here. Let's go back to tournament, try to play a game now. So all the viewers who are watching the game and watching the live stream, just try to put in the comment section that you are watching this stream because again I think there are some changes from the YouTube wherein I cannot see the number of live viewers on my screen, which is generally it was being displayed before. But just you can, if you can comment in the comment section that you are watching this tournament live, I would be happy. So d4, knight f6, knight f3. g6, g3, bishop g7, bishop g2, castles. And now let me just play c4. Let me try d5 here, something different. I think exchange was better here for black. Anyhow, let me just try to get a better square for my knight now. So a6 will be expected soon. And how can I respond to that? Yeah, I have to put something knight on e4 now actually. So let me just bring it back. g4. Now you have to plan here. Okay, the position is stable. You have done with your opening. The middle game is in progress. Now you need something concrete that will help you. Look at this knight. This knight is not at all helping me out. So if I put this knight on d2 and e4, it might help me out to just get this knight's exchange, and then the other knight will come to f6 and try to create some havoc on h5, g5. Okay, I think that should be okay. It should be fine. It should not be of worry. Let me just play h4 once. Okay, I just want to try to exploit this h6 g5 weakness here. And if I play knight d2 now, I like this pawn on g4. It can be targeted. Oh, f5 is now coming very fast. That's what black was planning. Let me just put on e4. Now there are two things happening here. First of all is I'll capture the pawn, and the g pawn is hanging now. So yeah, he'll play h5 first. And now I need to save this pawn, right? So I'll just put my bishop on e4. Knight is going here. That's fine. I would like to put my pawn here. Pawn takes is okay. Knight d6. Knight takes e4. Bishop c2. I think e4 is now playable. Okay. Time pressure again. Hmm. Now the queen is not defending d6 anymore. So let me put my knight on e4 so that I can try and attack this d6 pawn again. I want to drive his queen back to b8 or put some pressure on him to support the d6. Yes, so the queen is back on c7. Let me now put. Now this is attacked twice, right? So if I want to expose white's king, black's king, I can sacrifice the pawn actually. And now queen here. The threat is queen h7 check. So bishop f5. I just missed it. I missed this completely. I thought I am having a undefendable threat of queen h7, but bishop f5 came out of nowhere. I am ignoring that. Okay, let me just try to play better chess now. Hmm. I need to get this rook into the game. Oh, interesting. Interesting move. The b2 pawn was hanging, guys. I have to be cautious. Varun is having a lot of time. e3. I want to attack the d6 pawn with bishop and the rook. Have I made a mistake here? I think so. I think so. I have got into a pawn up kind of position, but I am worried about the king's. But my king is actually a better defender than black's king. Queen, I should just exchange. Let me just trying to go into an endgame with a pawn up. I am having a less time, so I have to play fast now. So forgive me if I just misspell or talk something which doesn't make sense. I have to play very fast now. Okay, this is under attack. I have to attack the pawn. Okay, pawn push. Pawn push. Check. Pawn free. I have to keep munching the pawns and have to block this rook's entry as much as possible. Another extra pawn. Let's go for the exchange now because of this extra pawns. So if I just pawn push, king c7, pawn push. Yeah, I think I can just pawn push now. Yeah, that should be winning. I have to make sure that these pawns are on the same square as my bishop. I think this bishop can capture the pawn on h5 because here I won't get. Uh, yeah, I think I can get a win there, but I have to work hard. I have to work hard for that. This is easy. This is easy now. Let me not just stalemate the opponent. Just praying for that. Instead of thinking much and getting under time pressure, I am going for a rook two queens mate, which is most simplest mate. So black has resigned. Let's go back to tournament. A good game, guys. So let me pause and just check the standings and Khelo Chess India. My team is leading right now with 20 points. That is interesting, guys. So 7-star online players is on second rank. Third rank is with the Chess Blasters. Then we have WSDCA. And then on fifth position, we have Gujarat Lions. Gujarat Lions have been seeing dominating this tournament very often. They have been dominating this tournament last in the last complete week, and Today they are on fifth position, so it will be interesting to see how they fight up in the remaining of their last 40 minutes. Then this Black Knight keep playing chess, Kolkata Dragons, and CSC on ninth. So it's a good games going on right now. Let me just check from the individual point of view who is leading. Trocking Tanmay from Khelo Chess India is leading. Let us just quickly check his game. So 17 moves in the game. E4, Rocking Tanmay is from Khelo Chess India, and Killer Saint is from CSC. So E4, E5, Knight F3, Knight C6, Bishop C4, Bishop C5, C3. This is called as Geico Piano, a very old and still old is gold kind of opening. Geico Piano. Knight F3, Knight F6, D4, C takes E5. E5 is an interesting variation here, which is not seen much. C takes D4 is a common variation. D5, yeah, that's what black replies. Very good with D5 whenever the E5 break or E5 push is done by white. So bishop B5, knight take knight E4, pawn takes D4, bishop B6, knight C3, castles, castles, knight C3, BC3, and bishop E6. So this is a very good position, guys, for white. As you can see, there are very few defenders on the king side. So there is a probability of getting this bishop back to D3, then bishop H7, then knight G5. All these threats are coming soon. Let's just check what happened in the game. Oh, bishop takes knight. I would have loved that bishop back on D3 to attack the castle king here. Okay, C takes B takes C6, knight G5. So knight e6, fe6, you are helping black. White is helping black, I think, to just allowing this rook to get an open file over here. So c4, bishop takes d4, a gift to black. A d4 pawn should not have been. Actually, this break is itself is wrong because this bishop is dead right now. You should not try to disturb your pawns. Just try to put your bishop on h6 here, then put your rook on e1, do rook e3, rook h3, or rook g3 and try to attack. Even this rook can join the party from rook d1, rook d3, and then rook g3. Okay, but let's see what happened in the game. White played c4, bishop takes d4, c takes d5, bishop takes a1, free rook over here, and then I think this is lost for white. Okay, this is losing for white, guys. I don't think white can now survive. That's a check and mate. Okay, let's go back to tournament. Check another game now. Let's check the top game from Kagua Master and Nikaru Hakamura. This is the current position. Nikaru Hakamura is in time pressure. What is happening on the board right now? So king is under attack. King g7. c3 knight was hanging, and I think this is winning for white. Yeah. Let's quickly check what happened in the opening, guys. So d4, g6, bishop f4, bishop g7, knight c3, d5, queen d2, knight f6, bishop h6, h4. So this is a full-fledged attack from white side to destroy black's castle. And f3, pawn takes pawn, knight takes e5. So here you can see that white is trying to play on the king side while black is trying to play in the center with a majority of pawns in the center. So this is the theme wherein you have to decide what is the best strategy for you. And knight d1 I think will put the white on back foot here. h5, f3, and c6, knight f2, rook e8, castles, a5, king b1, a4, knight c5, queen b6, knight goes to e4, knight takes, bishop f5, and now knight d6, attacking the bishop and rook at the same time. A beautiful knight fork, destroying black's castle, and now b3, f5. I think this fork, this actually a3 move probably is not the best for black. Black probably should have played bishop to e6 and given away this exchange because he's already in the better position here. And this a2 pawn might be in trouble after this bishop comes to e6. Anyways, let's just check what happened in the game. So a3, knight takes f5, g takes f5, b3, f4, rook goes to g1, rook g8, g3, king goes back, and now I think bishop h3 will be played. Yes, d3, pawn takes, knight goes to d4, rook f1, pawn takes, and c3. I think that will allow some tactics from knight. Yeah, knight b5, f4, pawn takes, queen takes, and then there is a mate on f7. Look at this. Okay, so black has to take care of that, and he played knight takes c3. King goes back, and queen g. This is where we started streaming, so I think this check is deadly now. So queen b4 check, giving a check as well as picking up this hanging piece. This is a tactic that you should follow, guys. You have to find the hanging pieces and do this kind of double attack. You will get a lot of free pieces. So king moves, queen takes, and that is where black resigned. So let's go back to tournament. And here, let's try to join and try to play a game. And meanwhile, we can open this actually in a new tab, Grandmaster. Queen and minor pieces. So remember, guys, when there is a queen and minor piece, bishop holds a very good pairing with your queen. I think I've got a game. I need to close this window. Let me go back here and try to play a game. Let's enter the full screen mode. E3, E3. Let us play D5. Let us play C5. Let us play knight C6 and try to be as attacking as possible. I just don't want this bishop to sit on C8 and wait for his turn. Let me just go for attack right away. Yeah. So white can trap my bishop here, but I'll make sure that I give a good fight and don't allow him to win easily. Okay, so that's the position. Let me just get my bishop back on track. Challenge this attacking bishop on d3. Probably knight takes g3 or now f5 was is a threat, guys. And f5 I have to capture it, and then he will try to just move the knight and give some. So the idea now from white, why white played queen to e3 was to play f5 move. If I capture, then this queen is attacking this king, and then this knight can just capture the knight and give a check, discover check, capturing an extra piece on c6. So just to avoid this, I let me just simply capture the bishop. Queen takes, and now let me castle. I think castle should be okay. F5 is not coming right away. Let me attack on the queen side. Hmm. I just want to keep my knight on the king side. There is no light square bishop, so this knight can remain safe here, at least for now. I think now Queen g4. What could be the idea of queen g4? I'm not sure what could be the idea of queen g4 here. Let me just capture the pawn here. Yeah. And now attack the weak pawn on c3. And then from there I can just try to intrude into the attack the bishop. Now is rook takes b2 possible? Just trying to put some pressure in the open files. That's how black should play in this position. Get his rooks in the open files on the queen side. Hmm. Now I think rook takes b2 is possible. E yes, I think rook takes b2. But before that, I have to get this knight into the game. Let me just try to. So there is nothing that white can do in these two files, right? c4 is now expected, right? c4, pawn takes, knight takes, knight takes. But c4 I think should be manageable. Let me just put knight on g2 for g7 first. Get the knight into the game. Hmm. Now that knight is better placed as compared to h5. This is called as IMR, improve maneuver and regroup. Okay, now I think I have the chance of playing this move. Exchange sacrifice and attack the rook. Then capture the rook and then put the knight on better square. Now knight takes c4 will be answered by queen takes c4 and then I can take the open file, open b file here. Where is Sonia? Sonia Tharwa went offline actually. I'm not sure why. Okay, let's go back to tournament and pause and check some other games. So let's check games from. Okay, so this is the game between Mrinal Shah from CSC and Vivek. Vivek is playing from white and Mrinal Shah is from black. They are from CSC and Gujarat Lions. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, knight c3, regular opening, not a Geico piano this time. So knight f6, a symmetrical opening in e4, e5. This is always interesting because placement of your minor pieces is very important in these symmetrical openings. Oh, interesting. So black is allowing a double pawn on both the squares, c6 as well as. Okay, so bishop b3 is fine. Now, how can white take advantage of this pawn structure? Okay, d5 is attacked twice, c6, and that's where we are at the live position. e4, a7 is now hanging, e5 is now hanging, so probably black has to take some care now because a lot of weaknesses in black's camp. Queen takes a7 is possible, and bishop h3 is coming now, but bishop h3 can be defended by just rook to f2. So nothing to worry about. f5 is something that black should be looking at, f5, f4 attack. So meanwhile, let me take a question from one of our viewers, Mayank. He is one of our admins as well. Sir, how to play in the time pressure? So in time pressure, all those who are listening, this is a very important question. How to play under time pressure? There are two things that you have to take care when we're in time pressure, and you have to think from both point of view. First is which is the safest move on the board right now. That is the first point that should come in your mind when you're in time pressure. Find the safest move, which there is no threat, which will not create any mating attacks on you, which will not lead to your hanging pieces or any other issues. Just find a simple, solid move which will keep you safe. That is the first part. And second part, which is the most important, that you have to make some winning plan in the back of your mind. Okay, so you have to you have to do these two things simultaneously. First is find the safest move, which will keep you safe. There won't be any attack. And second is you have to keep working in the back of your mind. What is the winning plan for me from this position? If you're able to do these two things, you will be able to sustain in a lot of time pressure, even in 1 and 2 seconds when you are on the defensive side. These 2 points will give you very good results. So just keep that in mind. Mayank, you can just reply if you are listening to this and if it will help you in future. So whenever you're in time pressure, just try this technique of finding the safest move first and then try to calculate the winning plan in the back of your mind. So this now b2 pawn was given away by white, but I think that is something that black would get a very good chance to play against now, because these pawn structures now c2 and a2, they will be vulnerable because without the uh, pawn chain. Yep, just like that. Vivek from white is under time pressure. Oh, rook d1, rook takes rook, rook takes rook, and can white get a black get a perpetual here? So black doesn't have to do anything now. He can just push the pawn. White can just push a pawn now. Oh, rook takes a1. Rook takes a1, queen takes d8 check. Yeah, probably this was safer. And now rook c8. Simple defensive move. Oh, rook d1. That's what black is going for, the kill here. And now rook takes rook. Queen takes king f2, and the a4 pawn is well defended by the queen on e8. So white does not need not worry about the a4 pawn. Now the a4 pawn is gone. This is what White should have avoided. White just should have taken his king above as much as possible up to f4 probably, and then he should have interposed with a check. Yeah, so that's it. That's a draw. This is the perpetual. This is what happens when you have the queen endings and the kings are exposed to checks. You end up in a draw most of the games. But a good game in the end. So let's go back and check one of the games. So let's just check who's leading right now. So last 20 minutes remaining now of the tournament. WSDCA is leading right now. Black Knight and WSDCA are just playing tug of war for this first position right now. 46 Black Knight, WSDCA on 42. Pritesh Mehta from WSDCA. WSDCA is leading right now with 16 points. Chess Blasters, Kagua Master, as usual, is performing outstanding with 14 points. They are on third place now. We have 7-star online players. Gaurav is leading with 18 points with the team score as 33. Then we have Khelo Chess India. Shivam Gupta is leading by 12 points. And right now the score is 32. Then we have Gujarat Lions, CSC, Kolkata Dragons, and Keep Playing Chess. So let's go back and check the top games. So social distancing, a very funny ID. Look at this ID, guys. Social distancing. This is a very funny ID, and uh, and he's leading with 20 points. Let us just check one of the games which is going on right now. The Bombay Rocker versus uh, Nikaru Hakamura. I think I have opened multiple tabs. Let me just close them. Yep, so this is the game which has just started. So e4, d6, d4, knight f6, bishop d3, g6, f4, c5. This is Austin attack, if I'm not wrong, against the Perk defense, wherein e4, d4, and f4 is played. So pawn takes, queen a5 check, knight c3, queen takes c5, knight to f3, and knight g4 now. What will happen for knight g4? I'm not sure about that move. Queen e2 probably will come and defend it. But bishop g7, queen e2, knight d7, bishop d2, a6. And just while I'm showing the game, I got a question from Vishal Jaswar. So hi Vishal, how are you? Hope you are doing good. I can see your question, sir. Need suggestion in pawn breaks. So Vishal, there are a lot of combinations. Recently I was doing some work on pawn breakthroughs and pawn breaks. So there are two different concepts. Pawn breakthrough is one concept, and pawn break is another concept. So to understand pawn breaks, you first have to understand what themes a certain opening has. For example, if you are playing Sicilian Dragon from black side, then you should be aware with the d5 break and how d5 break affects your position and which grandmasters currently play that break. That is something that you have to research always. Whichever opening you play, you have to follow a grandmaster. And from those grandmasters games, you have to find which breaks you can play in the openings that are your favorite. Okay, for example, if you play mm, let me just try to recollect. So if you're playing Benoni defense from black, okay, most of the beginners might not be able to imagine this, but when you're playing Benoni defense from black side, there is an e6 break, f5 break, pawn breaks. So these breaks you have to study a lot. You have to study a lot and lot, because pawn breaks are very dynamic. A single piece, if you change the position, a break completely changes the meaning of that position. So you probably cannot play pawn break with the knight on f3 and knight on e2. So there are different breaks. And right now, is f6 trapping the knight? No, knight e6 is possible on the board. So going back to the breaks. So Vishal, you have to find your grandmaster, which you have to refer to prepare your opening repertoire. Once you find your grandmaster, you have to go through all of his games. And wherever you see that the opening you play, okay, that if the same opening is played by the grandmaster, then that particular game you have to find the breaks. For example, if you are, as I said before, if you are playing Benoni defense from black side, then e6 and f5 breaks are important. You have to study those breaks. Just use a database. A free database are online. Free database are available online. You can just download the database and you can set up the position and find all the games in that database for that pawn breaks. That is how you have to study the pawn breaks as much as possible from the databases. So follow your GM, find a GM, follow the GM, and also you can use your databases. You can download the skid software, SCID skid software. That software is absolutely free from website anywhere. I think it's there on the Search Forge probably. And in that software, you can run that software on your Windows machine. It has a database. You can also download a free database from LiChess. There is a video on LiChess that I have created how to get 974 million games from LiChess absolutely free. That database, you can check that video in the video section on my channel, and then you can use that database actually to understand those openings and the pawn breaks. I'll make a video if you like that how to use a database and study the pawn breaks as well as study your openings from using the database. So I hope Vishal that somewhat answers your question. You can just reply if you're listening now. And right now we have a very nice position with king locked on c7, and white has of course sacrificed a piece, but he has managed to expose black's king, and black's king is trying to escape from the burning world in the center of the board. Look at that knight on b8. He must be a most upset piece for today. He has got not even a single move to come out and show his talent. So black has to put some pressure on that queen. Probably rook to e8 and try to attack the bishop on e3, or probably just challenge the queen by queen f8. Bishop takes d5. Okay. Bishop takes b5. A takes b5. Rook takes d5. Is this possible, guys? Bishop takes, pawn takes, and then rook takes bishop. But queen c3 check is played, so still this bishop is hanging. So I think bishop takes b5 is now possible. But bishop takes b5, yeah, bishop takes b5, and this cannot be captured because of queen takes c6 here. Now take if a takes, then rook takes bishop is possible. Sandeep Divekar I is okay. Sandeep Divekar, I can see your message. Sandeep has said hi. I am Prathamesh. Yes, Prathamesh, I know you very well. Prathamesh Divekar, you are playing a lot of our tournaments. You are a regular follower. So nice seeing you, Prathamesh. Welcome to the live broadcast. So it's a critical game now. Time pressure on both the ends, and Black's king is in bit of tension right now. Who will survive, guys? Black or white? Look at the rating. Black is 22-25 and white is 2026. So this is the way you have to neutralize the attack by exchanging of the pieces. That's what black is doing right now by exchanging of his queens. Bishop takes c6. Yes, queen takes a3. Bishop takes a8. No. And that should be winning for black now. So just in time, black managed to pull back the game and win this one. Let's go back to the tournament and try to join the game. Last 11 minutes remaining now, guys. So Vishal, I can see your reply. Thank you for the suggestion. Always happy to answer your queries, Vishal. If all the viewers who are watching now, if you have any questions, any queries that you want about the chess, you can put in the comment section. I will be happy to answer them. I'm waiting for the game. Let's check what is the top table right now. Who is on it? Oh, I got a game. So Kastub Nayak is from let me play in the burst of mode this one. Okay, guys, so Kastub Nayak is from Keep Playing Chess, and I am playing from Khelo Chess India. Let us try some adventure. This is called as Danish Gambit, and let's give away all the pawns for free and develop our minor pieces and try to attack this f7 pawn, which is also called as Achilles' heel. So bishop b4 check. Let me just develop the knight. I have the bishop f7 option now. Bishop f7, king f7, and oh, doubtful move. c5 won't help you, black, because I am having a lead in development, and there are no much pieces left. Interesting. Bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, and I can play queen d5, but then let me just support the knight for now. Okay, so there is a question from Mayank. Mayank, I am playing in the Berserk mode. Just give me some time to get a bit relaxed now and then probably answer your question. I cannot take bishop g7 because of queen b4 check. I have to attack now. I need to play castles. Let me just castle and avoid all the queen b4 check threats. Now I can not castle. I cannot capture yet. But let me just put the knight on g5. Adventurous knight who likes to go out and have some fun. 6 is hanging. Let us capture the f7 pawn now. Rook takes, and let me just give a queen check and capture this knight. Oh, there is a mate. There is a mate on g7. I was missing that. So good one. A short game, a quick game. So those who want to just have some adventure, have some fun, play this. Oh, am I playing a game? Where is my game going on, guys? Okay, here. I have got another player, chess player. Let me just play another Danish Gambit. Okay, what's happening? Have I played? Yes. So let's try another Danish Gambit, guys. Okay, let's just check if. What is this? What is this? Okay, I'll just keep a window because it was just beeping a lot. So let me just capture this pawn, have some adventure, have some fun. And what is possible? Queen h5 check is possible. G6 can come. Let me just put this bishop on c4 first. Bishop c5, and let me just try to do a double attack. Queen d5, threat on f7 as well as c5. Queen e7 is now expected. Knight h6. Let me just capture this knight and put a mate on f7. Okay, so couple of easy games probably for me. Now that I'm a pawn up, let me just try to exchange the pieces. Oh, but there is a queen h4 check coming after this. If bishop takes, pawn takes, queen h4 check. G3 is okay. I can defend with g3. Queen e6. No, black. You shouldn't exchange if you're piece down. Just castle or yeah, castles. E4 would be hanging now. Free knight for me. Okay. And now this is kind of a not so happening game, guys. And I am under time pressure now. No draw. Play on. This is the fun, guys. This is how you should enjoy chess. I have to get a queen now from this e pawn and do a checkmate. Play for fun, guys. Don't go for draws. Try to create some magic on the board with the time pressure on such a low end. No draw. Play on. Queen f3 check. h4 check. Knight comes to g4, e4, and now there should be a mate soon. Probably I am missing something out here. Check, check, king here. Check. I am just wasting moves. And yes, knight at 6 should be not a mate. Not yet a mate, guys. Oh, I just lost on the last move. But anyways, interesting game. Let's go back to the tournament. Leave. Yes. And let me pause and quickly check. So last 4 minutes remaining in the tournament now. Black Knights leading the today's battle, followed by WSDCA. And as I said before, Gujarat Lions play mostly in the slog overs. They are approaching towards the first place very fast. So let us just check last 3 minutes who will win this tournament. On number 4, we have 7-star online players. Number 5, Khelo Chess India. Number 6, the Chess Blasters. Number 7, the CSC Kolkata Dragons. And keep playing chess. So what's happening over here? So chess blasters. Let's see from the individual point of view. So social distancing is really working. We are really safe, and we are witnessing a very good performance from the same 26 points leading right now from Black Knights. We have Pritesh Mehta from WSTCA 2057. Nikaru Hakamura from Gujarat Lions, who's rated 2233, is on 20 points. Gaurav is from 7 star, who is on 20 points. And then we have Shivam Gupta from Khelo Chess India with 18 points. These are the top 5. And still we have about 3 minutes left. So quickly, let's go and check one of the games. Kunal from Black Knights versus Nikaru Hakamura from Gujarat Lions. So let's quickly check what happened in the opening. We still have some time. So d4, g6, knight f3, bishop g7, bishop f4, e3, pawn takes, knight f6, c3, castles, bishop d3, d5, knight d2. This is a normal opening, guys, wherein you develop all your minor pieces. All the beginners out there who are listening right now, this is for you. Just develop your minor pieces. Make sure none of the minor pieces are sitting inside idle, lazy minor pieces. We don't want any lazy minor pieces on the board. Then bishop g4 was played, queen c2, knight c6, h3, bishop takes, knight takes, rook to c8, a3. E3 is one of the good moves because now knight b4 was the threat. Okay, pawn cannot capture because then rook can capture the queen. This is for all the beginners out there. Hence a3 was played. It's a good move, stopping the knight b5, knight b4, because now pawn can capture. And then black played queen b6. After queen b6, g4. Interesting. So white wants to go for a full-fledged kingside attack. e6, g5, knight goes to h5, bishop d2, rook e8, and long castles. Interesting again. Is knight d4 or bishop d4 possible? Okay, knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes. Rook moves, knight f4, well placed knight on f4, bishop f4, and now I think g5 should fall. d4. Okay, bishop takes g5, rook takes, and rook goes to e8. So white wants to go into an ending so that he has some chances with the opposite color bishops on the board. Last 1 minute remaining, guys. So interesting battle going on. This is an opposite color bishops. But white won't get a perpetual here. I think that bishop is going to fall now. Bishop queen e4 probably. Queen e4 and support the bishop. Queen c3 check. And now pawn takes pawn. That will be more effective. Yes. I think this is winning for black now. This is winning. So opposite color bishops where they're on the board. If you have queen, make sure before you enter the opposite colored bishop endings, your bishop is in attacking position. For example, look at this bishop. This bishop is having this open diagonal up to a1. Okay, so this bishop is stronger bishop as compared to this bishop on d3, which is hitting his head on this g6 pawn. So compare the bishops. This whoever has a better bishop, that player wins, or he has more probability of winning. So this is one of the great tricks that you can use in your games. When you are in the opposite color bishop endings, make sure you have the attacking bishop before you enter ending. Okay, so let's go back to the tournament, and we would have today's winners. The Black Knight have won today with 60 points, a very good performance, followed by WSDCA with 56 points. Gujarat Lions on third place with 54 points, followed by Khelo Chess India on 46 points. Seven star online players with 46 points. So fourth and fifth place, the points are same. Sixth place, the Chess Blasters with 40 points. Then we have CSC on number 7 with 36 points, Kolkata Dragons with 27 points, and Keep Playing Chess on 19 points. So very close call between top three, just a difference of 4 points and then a difference of 2 points. So these three teams are playing really hard, guys. They are fighting hard to get the first place in today's tournament, and you can see the gap is very low. It's just 6 points between the top team and the third team. So it was a very good tournament. I hope all the participants have enjoyed this tournaments. All those who are watching, I hope you have learned something new today. That is our motto for now. Every day you have to learn something new, and if you are learning something new, then do recommend to all your friends. Then we can share the education, the topics that we discuss with everyone. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. That keeps me motivated to bring you these beautiful videos live on YouTube. And tomorrow we are going to have two tournaments which will be live on the channel. The first tournament is coming up at 12 noon from Jharkhand Chess Players Club. They have, I think, they have organized one team event at 12 noon tomorrow, which will be live on our YouTube channel. So do tune in into our channel at 11:50. We'll be starting streaming at 11:55. That will be for 1 hour. And then at 4 p.m. we have another tournament coming up on chess.com. That is something new. We haven't done the chess.com live broadcast before, but tomorrow you can watch that chess.com live broadcast at around 4 p.m. India time. So stay tuned for tomorrow, and at the evening we again will have our 15th Khelo Chess India team battle. So Shivam Gupta, I can see your comment. Yes, you did your best. I am really happy you're playing, and you're playing very well, Shivam Gupta. So keep it up from my team, and I would like to join you as well, but I have to pause in between to do the commentary, show the other game. So sorry for that. Sorry to for my teammates. I have to pause in between. I cannot give my 100% for winning. And that's all from my side, guys. I hope I have answered all your questions in the chat section. If you have any more questions, you can put in the description box below. Sorry, in the comments box below. And there is also a WhatsApp link in the description box. If you haven't joined our WhatsApp group where we publish daily leeches tournament, you can join our WhatsApp group by clicking that link. Just check the description box below, and make sure that whenever you're participating in the cash tournament somewhere on online, there are a lot of online cash tournaments going on. Make sure that the organizers are genuine. There were few cheating and scamming cases that I have seen recently. So take care. Don't waste your hard earned money. Spend the money where you feel that you won't be cheated. you won't be scammed, and the person who is organizing is really genuine. So that's it from my side, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Do subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and like the video. Until the next time, bye bye and take care.